Finally, today, the staple that is found in kitchens around the world that is now becoming a more popular crop to grow here in Oklahoma. SunUp's Elizabeth Hokett chats with our OSU Extension vegetable specialist Tyler Mason about garlic production.
We're here now at the Cimarron Valley Research Station with our OSU Extension vegetable specialist Tyler Mason. So Tyler, we're out here at your research plots for vegetables and we're standing behind some garlic here. Tell me a little bit about garlic in Oklahoma and what you guys are doing with this research.
Yeah, so the goal of this project is a vegetable variety trial. We're trying to identify top performers based on yield and quality for garlic production in Oklahoma. So we're growing 10 different varieties. Some of them are soft neck and some of them are hard neck. And usually the first question I get asked is, what's the difference? Hard neck garlic will produce a scape, and the scape is the flower stalk. What's special about that is when you harvest it about 3 weeks before the bulbs are ready, it's a delicacy. If you smell it or taste it, it has this mild chive garlic flavor that's really exceptional. So you get to sell that as the crop at a farmer's market, and then in addition, you get to sell the bulb 3 weeks later.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about garlic production in Oklahoma.
Yeah, good question. It has increased dramatically in the past 5 years. So 5 years ago, 2017, there were about 22 producers, and now there's about 44 producers across the state. So it's grown in a dramatic way, but still it's only produced on about 10 acres across the state. So it's still, a small specialty crop compared to, tomatoes or peppers, for example.
Yeah, so it sounds like garlic production has grown in Oklahoma recently. Why is that?
Good question. I'm not an economist, but what I understand is that consumption of garlic has increased dramatically in the past 10 years across the United States. So much so that domestic production has not kept pace. As much as 40% of our market is imported from, from other countries. And the largest contributor to international garlic is China. They produce about 15% of our market share. And, if you're curious, why that is, it's cost of production. It's hard to beat them on cost of production. Yeah. The other thing is that we're not just interested in yield, we also want to identify which of these cultivars is high quality. And our parameter for high quality is a thiosulfate called allicin. And allicin is the pungent smell associated with garlic, but it has huge nutraceutical benefits. Lowers cholesterol, eases inflammation, lowers blood pressure, scavenge free radicals, so it's an anti-carcinogen. So a lot of really great benefits to eating garlic in addition to the flavor.
So what kind of goes into the production of this? You mentioned production costs.
Sure. Your two big production costs, well, three really, is the seed garlic. So when you plant seed garlic, you're not actually planting a seed, you're planting a clove. Okay. That you've purchased from a reputable garlic producer. You plant the clove, and then you get to harvest a bulb as well as the scapes. So your seed garlic is a big production cost. Your labor, the onion family, so onions and garlic and chives, they're not competitive against weeds. So you got to have a plan for weed control. Well, in our study, we wanted to identify cultivars that performed well, even if they got a little weedy. It's hard for people to keep up with all the demands of a crop, and weed control is always a big issue in vegetable production. And, your opportunities are to hand weed, or to hand pull, or to spray. And some consumers, are interested in garlic that hasn't been sprayed with herbicides prior to emergence. So that was our goal, was to identify low inputs, sustainable production, cultivars of high yield and high quality.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the production season and the management of the garlic.
Yeah, it's a unique crop because it's planted in the fall and harvested the next summer. So it grows over winter and it grows pretty slowly. You plant it mid-October, it only gets about 3 inches tall until January. And then it'll grow another 2 inches in January, and then it'll take off after that. So you really want to be on it with fertilizer and watering.
So garlic harvest kind of coincides with wheat harvest. It's around the same time, and I know wheat harvest has been a little bit delayed due to the rain. Has that also been impacting your garlic harvest?
Good question. Garlic is unique in that you need it to dry out for about 7 to 10 days before you're ready to harvest. And that does a couple things. One, it allows the scales to build up around the bulb, which improves storability. So what we'll do is we'll literally turn the irrigation off about 7 to 10 days, and that's kind of where we're at right now. And then the soil will dry up, the scales will establish themselves around the bulb. We'll pull the bulbs, store them in cold storage with a fan, and then 2 weeks later we'll cut the foliage off, and the bulbs will store for 8 to 9 months. Okay. But that water component is really important. If they're wet when they're harvested, that's going to negatively impact their storability.
Yeah, and you guys are about to harvest these, and then you will have the results from this trial.
Yes.
And those will be put out to the public.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end of a second-year study. Last year we saw top performers from Inchellium Red and German Extra Hardy, both hardneck garlic species. It looks similar this year, although I'm seeing some good performance from Romanian Red as well. But we'll have all that data the next couple months analyzed.
Great, Tyler. Thanks for telling us all about garlic, and we will wish you the best of luck with your harvest.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.